the self-doubt. The self-doubt, and bigger than the self-doubt, to ask ourselves this question: do I believe that I am worthy of the success of my intention? Right? Do I believe I am worthy of a life that is peaceful and joyful? So each one of us has mentioned different things. One person talks about self-expression, somebody talked about communication. So each of us, now when we think about that, right? Think about who you are right now and who you will be when that goal or that intention is successful. How that might feel. And ask yourself, do I believe I am worthy of receiving the success of this intention? Right? At the deepest level, this is the question we have to ask ourselves. Do I believe I deserve this? Do I believe I deserve this? That's the question that, may be there that we might never have become aware of. But that's where I want to start our conversation today. You bring life to your intentions when you believe that you are worthy of them. So Wayne Dyer said, we must honor our worthiness in order to receive what we want. In our society, we are conditioned to believe that we are not worthy, and that it is even selfish to want to be able to attract things into our life. Right? So the first and most important thing when we make the intention is to immediately ask ourselves, do I see myself really succeeding in this? Right? Do I really see myself succeeding in this? Do I see myself succeeding? So let us say my intention is to have a more healthy life, more health. Do I really see that it's possible for me to be healthy? And I want to invite you to consider this question about how do you see yourself, right? How do we see ourselves? So one way is to see ourselves through another's lens, right? Now, when we see ourselves through another's lens, then we only know ourselves by somebody else telling. So many of us, and it's not that it's done deliberately, but very often when somebody tells us something, we believe it about ourselves. You see? When somebody tells us something, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we believe another person's observations more than we have no opinion about ourselves, and somebody else tells us, and that becomes our truth. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just asking you to consider this, right? So very often we might see ourselves through another's lens. That's one way of looking at ourselves. Another way of looking at ourselves is through lens of the past, right? So when I see myself through the lens of the past, what happens is that, like, let us say I'm working on becoming a more peaceful person who doesn't fly off the handle and say things that I regret later, right? This is one thing that I personally have been working on for a long time. Now, when I tell myself, right, let us say, for example, I say, this year my intention is to be a person who is more consciously responding to things. Do I really see that is possible? Do I really see myself that way? Now, when I start to see myself that way, now the thing that others might tell me, oh, Rama, but you are a spiritual teacher, you are so patient. And I may go, you don't know me. You don't know the real me, right? So I may reject what another person tells me about myself, but I am believing what I know about myself from my past. So when I believe what I know about myself from the past, and I think that's the truth, right? So in the first example I told you, I have no opinion of myself, and I believe that what others tell me about myself is the truth. Then we have another version where I think you don't know me, you just see me from the outside, you don't know the real me. The real me only I know. And I am telling you I tend to fly off the handle, I am impulsive, I am very reactive. Now, this is my opinion about myself based on my past. And when I tell my mind, oh, my intention is this year I'm going to become more responsible, more conscious, kinder, then immediately this part of me says, you and responsible and patient and kind, is that a joke? We know how you've been. Are you kidding me? I mean, look at you. This is this is your database. Tell me one instance when you had 1 year where you were kind and patient and thoughtful and all those great things you're saying, right? So, who talks this self in me that is completely basing it on my past data? You see? So, when we start thinking about how do I see myself? Do I see myself where I have no opinion about myself and I need everyone to tell me who I am? Or do I see myself based on what I know about myself? Oh, so many of us may say, well, sometimes I like people to tell me things about myself. If it's a friend I trust or a family member, and they give me some feedback, both positive or negative, I like to take, because you know what? I might not see everything about myself, and I like to kind of take that feedback. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong. The question is not, should I never listen to what others tell me? No, it's all right. But don't confine yourself. Don't restrict yourself to thinking that only others can tell you who you are. That's not true. Others can tell you, because definitely sometimes we can't see ourselves clearly. Another person can tell us, show us the mirror, and that's a good thing. Then, do I rely on my past? Well, you can rely on your past, and that's not a bad thing, because definitely your past shows you what you have done and what you have already achieved and what you know you are already capable of. But is that all that there is to you, right? So now you look at a third way of looking at yourself. So here's what I'm asking you to think about this week. You can see yourself through another lens. You can see yourself through the lens of the past, or there is a third way, and that is through the lens of our intention. But I'm sure if you looked into your own life, I am sure if you looked into your own life, you could tell me things you have done that you never believed you could do. Each of us has the potential to do incredible things and have done incredible things. Each of us have done things. It might be something simple and silly, like I never thought I could throw a party for 40 people in my backyard, and I threw an amazing party, right? Or it could be, I never thought I could pass this examination, and I did. I never thought I could complete this hike of 6 miles, but I did. I am sure if you look into your own past, you will find that there are things you have done that you did not know you had the potential to do. And now looking back, like my friend who says to me, I don't know how in the world I did it. You also probably have got stories where you can look at the past and say, I didn't realize I could do it. So what I'm trying to tell you is that, yes, friends can give us some idea about who we are. Yes, our past definitely holds some guidelines about who we are and what our potential is. But let us not believe that our potential has been entirely mapped out. It has not been mapped out. There is in all of us a lot of potential that has yet to be explored. And if you are going to listen to those doubting voices in your mind that tell you, you really? You are telling me you're going to live a life like this? You can't do it. Well, that is just the past telling you you have not done it. And the past is probably true, but It does not mean it cannot happen in the future. It just means you haven't done it yet. You haven't done it yet. Now, where is this intention coming from? That becomes the question that we have to ask ourselves. Where is this intention coming from? I want to share with you a quote by one of my favorite authors, Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote the book Game of Life and How to Play It. She says here about intentions, there is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill. Something you are to do which no one else can do. There is a perfect picture of this in the superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable ideal, something too good to be true. In reality, it is man's destiny or destination, flashed to him from the infinite intelligence which is within himself. Okay? So what Florence Scovel Shinn says in this book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, she says that inside all of us, there are three minds: the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The way I like to see it, the way I like to think about it, is the past, the present, and the future. You see, in all of us, we have the past, the present, and the future. Now, when we sit down and we think, what are our intentions? So we talked about this last week, right? We talked about, we've made intentions in the past of, and we get our goals from, oh, my friend has gone to Italy. I want to go to Italy. This person, I want to do this. Oh, this one tells me I should write a book. I should write a book. Not forget about what you should do. Forget about what others tell. In the third way, when we talk to you about, let us set intentions in a way that raises our vibe. When we think about setting intentions that raise our vibe, we say, stop listening to what everybody is saying. Stop listening to even what you think you should be. And open yourself up and let your imagination run and ask yourself, what would I like to do this year? What would I like to do? And slowly this idea comes, one person might say, what, forever I wanted self-expression. Okay. This self-expression, the desire for self-expression, or somebody saying, I want to be forever, I have wanted to be brave. Can you understand that these intentions are coming from your soul? From your soul, which is from your future. Basically, it is coming from your future that is saying, come hither, come to me. I am here. Your future version is communicating to you. Your future version. So when we start thinking about how I see myself, I can't see myself only from the eyes of the past. I have to also understand that this intention is telling me about what I can be. That my future version is inviting me and saying, shall we start? Shall we start? Right? So when we start thinking about ourselves in terms of not the past is great. And you know what? The past is got to be the ladder upon which I put my foot to raise myself. It's the stepping stone to the future. The past cannot be the obstacle to the future. The past cannot limit the future. When my past tells me you've never done this so far, I should be able to tell my past, you're absolutely right, which is why I want to do it now. Right? Which is why I want to do it now. We should be able to understand where these thoughts are coming from and where our intentions are coming from. Now, when I understand my intention as coming from my future, and then instead of shrinking based on my past, I raise myself to meet my future. This is how I raise my vibration. When we start thinking about our intention, we have to ask ourselves, do I believe that I can be successful? Do I believe that I can be successful, right? C.S. Lewis said, we are who we believe we are. So this is important for us to ask ourselves, can I believe in the fact that I can be successful? Helen Keller said, optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So yes, when we check in with ourselves and we realize, actually, I don't really believe I can do it. Okay? I don't really believe I can do it. Okay, good. That is information, right? When we check in with ourselves, when we hear something like this, and I'm asking you, this is going to be something that, I'm going to encourage you to look at and say, do I really believe this is possible? Right? And how can I move towards that? Well, you're going to have to do a number of different things that will help you to raise your confidence. First of all, you could, what about asking others? Well, when you're feeling low, it is all right to ask a friend who believes in you, do you think I could ever do this? Right? It is not wrong to ask a friend to give us that boost that we might need. What is not okay is we always needing it, right? Suppose I'm making coffee and I open my kind of coffee container canister and find there's no coffee in it. And I desperately need to make me coffee. And I'm good friends with my neighbor. I can go to my neighbor and say, hey, can I get some coffee from your house? I can't go every day to the neighbor asking for coffee, right? They will send me out. So it is all right once in a while, if we need it, to have a circle or a person who believes in us. In fact, we must cultivate such friendships. We must cultivate friendships of people who believe in us so that they can tell us, I think you can do this. Come on, you can do this, right? It's good. So that's one way we can boost our confidence. We can also boost our own confidence. Do I never look at my past? Of course, you have to look at your past. But the question to ask yourself about your past is, what have I done in my past that I never thought I could do? Right? When I look into my past and I say, what is it that I thought I could never do? Or I thought it would be, very challenging, but I managed to do it. What did I do? The other way by which we boost our confidence, our faith in ourselves, is through action. You see, Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy, right? So, Amy, when we talk about, creative expression and writing, I guess threw in a silly idea. I said, reach out to the guys at the Record, the new local magazine, and offer to write a weekly about Reiki and things like that. And you'll also get an opportunity for you to study different healing modalities. Do something, do anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a great thing. It's just like, I am doing something so that it is my statement that I will not be content with status quo. I will do something, right? I'm going to do something. In this way, through actions, through choices, we take that line of our intention and make it taller, longer than the doubts and the limiting thoughts that are there coming from our past samskaras. Samskara is a Sanskrit word for seeds. And these limiting thoughts are seeds that are like, not seeds, I want to say, though samskara means seeds of possibilities, I would say that some of the samskaras in us are like weeds, you know, and you know how weeds are. They keep coming. You remove 10 and you think you've done a great job and you're feeling good about yourself. You look again next week, there are more weeds coming. So we have to constantly keep weeding out all of this and cultivating faith in ourselves, cultivating our own confidence.